Greetings and welcome to Pickled Watermelon Rinds, a guilty pleasure podcast featuring Antie Joan and Ontie, providing our zesty and marginally mature take on current events, pop culture, and trends. Now we invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Well, hello, Antie Joan!
Yeah. What day is it today?
Welcome back from your vacation.
Oh, it was too short. Too short.
Always are.
Yeah.
But it's good to see your smiling face.
And yours also.
Oh, that's very sweet.
Yeah. It's like what the dogs do when they smile. They curl up their upper lip.
Yes. Teddy, the golden retriever that I send you clips of all the time, that's on Facebook and Instagram, and he's very funny. I adore him. He's the one that holds up the toy in his back.
Yes.
That's Teddy.
Oh, yeah. I think I just sent that one to you too. Or to Mr. Killian.
Mm-hmm.
I love the golden retriever that likes to look at herself in the mirror.
With her butterfly outfit on.
And her little purse.
Love it. Love it. She's so cute. Adorable.
Oh, she's precious.
Adorable.
Precious.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we should put links out there.
Yes, we'll do that. So we're back, everybody. I hope you missed us. We missed you. And we'll get right to our program today. So during the break, I went and played Holiday Bingo.
Oh my gosh, this sounds like so much fun.
It was at the Howlin' Wind Brewery in Rollinsville, Colorado. It was sponsored by Toss Pizzeria, which is a couple doors down from there. And it was quite packed.
Really?
And almost everybody had their own dabbers.
Wow.
I know. And my friends that I went with, they were so shocked when I brought in the dabbers. Like, you have these? I'm like, of course I have these. I love bingo. We did not have to put in any money.
Oh, that's even better.
And they were giving away prizes, wrapped gifts. So you didn't know it was a big table. I mean, a table full of gifts, different sizes. You know, some were anything that had pet Christmas wrapping paper on it was a pet related gift. Everything else was people gifts. But there was quite a little mix. Somebody got, I think, a pair of earrings.
Wow.
I mean, it was kind of legit. I was very impressed. I love the person who was running it. She was very silly and fun. One of the downsides that I am going to nitpick was, when did it become okay to bring kids to bars? I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. I feel, and the poor woman who was hosting had to curb things that she would normally say, but we didn't.
No.
We didn't. She would say, I don't know, N46, pick up sticks. And we're like, bag of dicks. And she heard us at one point. I don't think it was that one, but we said something like that. She's like, I hear ya. Just trying to keep it PG-13 for now. And I was like, no, they shouldn't be here. They should not be here.
Well, what time of day was this?
This was 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah, see, yeah.
No.
I think for bingo, they kind of, yeah.
No, but I say that because, yes, it was a bingo thing and all that. But I see kids at breweries all the time. And I'm like, it used to be such taboo to bring a child to a bar, but somehow breweries are getting away with it.
Yeah.
And people are all doing it, and I dislike it immensely. So there's my 2 cents on it. I don't like it. But the bingo was super fun. Nobody won at our table. So my losing streak continues, Antie Joan. But it was a lot of fun. And I wore my elf pajamas.
Tops and bottoms?
Tops and bottoms.
Did you put on your little headpieces?
I didn't. I thought I was going a little extreme, and my
Oh,
friends weren't super appreciative of my outfit. They thought I was being a little
you
too
didn't want
much.
to draw too much attention
I
to
wanted
you,
to
did
win
you?
and show everybody my pajamas, but I didn't never got to
No.
get up
Mm,
because
bummer.
didn't win nothing.
This woman who was running it, did she happen to mention if there'll be more of these
So I
in the
know they're having
future?
them. My friend, one of the friends that went with me, says there's another one coming to the very nice brewery, which is very close to where I live. And I think at the end of the month, I don't know if it's going to be the same woman. It might be, though. She might just be doing the circuit up here. I don't know. But I know that Toss Pizzeria has done it before. I missed it. It was, I think I didn't see the post until the day after they had it.
Oh,
And I was like, damn it. And then I saw what they said when the next one was going to be, and that was going to be at the Howlin' Wind. And I said, "Oh, good, I'll go there." So right now we're tentatively planning on going on the 30th
oh,
to
fun.
yes, see how it goes. But yes, it's good, silly fun. We enjoyed it. Oh my God! But the last round was blackout, and it was a crazy speed round. Everybody only got one card, so there's no buy-in, but you only get one card to play.
Mhm.
I think one game they gave us two cards. Wasn't the last one. There's no way I could have done two cards. I could barely keep up with the one card because she was literally
Oh,
calling them like
oh,
this. B2, 082, 072. I mean, she was going rapid fire. One, I'm like,
wow.
oh, uh-oh. I'm getting lost and I only have one card. Uh-oh. And I'm a person who goes to bingo. like, like my friends, they hadn't played bingo in forever. You know, kind of like when we first went, we were just like, oh my God, slow down. Like, what?
I like that she had the little quips and everything with the numbers
Yes.
she called because they don't have that where we go.
They don't. You know, I don't think 69 got pulled, 069, because
Oh boy,
I
that's a
know. Because in Connecticut at the Foxwoods Casino, they used to go, oh, 69. So I was hoping she was going to do that, but I don't think that got called because I was waiting for it. But yeah, she had little rhymes for not every single
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
And she also had music ones.
Oh,
They weren't that great. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't appreciate
well,
those
I
that
mean,
much.
come on, you know.
It was different. It was different, but she
Yeah.
wasn't technically savvy, so it took her a little bit to get it to go. I also wish that she didn't take breaks after every single game.
Mm,
So it just made it much longer than it needed to be. Like,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I think they said it was supposed to be 6 to 8, and I don't think we left. I mean, we left as soon as it was done at like 8:30, but it did not need to be that long. There was, in my opinion, too many breaks. I'm all for taking breaks, but maybe do like 2 or 3 games, take a break. Do
Yeah,
two,
yeah,
2 or 3 more, take another, that kind of
yeah.
thing. So that was my only critique of her, because otherwise she was awesome, lots of fun,
Hmm.
and she was dressed as Santa, but she had to take her beard off, and we're like, it's too hot. So
We
that was
should
cute.
we should do the bingo thing down here again coming up one of these months
I would
after the
love to.
weather gets a little more steady. I know Sandy B would like to join us.
Sandy B, Sandy B, Sandy
Mhm,
B.
mhm.
I would love for her to join us. So that
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
awesome.
And she can give us all the ins and outs, because she used to volunteer there
Is she a
when she,
professional?
no, no, well, no, but she had to get a lot or whatever it is. I think she was the manager once of the Humane Society's game. And you have to
Oh.
actually get, I don't know, you're not licensed, but you have to, there's some requisite you have to do to,
Mm-hmm.
so because you're handling a game of choice or whatever in the
Right.
state. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. That would be funsies. Will she
Hmm,
come with us
hmm.
to the Thai restaurant?
Well, she'll have to.
Oh. And will she come to us to the Dairy Queen after?
Oh, you betcha.
Okay, yay.
That's that's our go-to. And we go to the one on the south side of Longmont, but
Oh.
after lunch, I mean that's yeah. We have lunch
Nice.
and then we go to DQ afterwards.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Consider it
Yeah.
a date.
All righty.
Lovely. And then
Yeah.
any resolutions or intentions you've set for 2025, Auntie Joan?
You mean what are my revolutions for 2025? Yes.
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 I am seriously working to change my circadian rhythm
Oh,
and try to get up in a normal time frame and go to bed at a semi-normal time frame.
okay. We're a couple of days into the
Yes,
new
well,
year. How's that going?
yeah, I went to bed a little earlier,
Nice.
New Year's morning,
Mm-hmm.
and got up a little earlier. Then last night when I went to bed, I put on Audible, a book on tape.
Mm-hmm.
So that helps me get to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me over an hour to get to sleep.
Mm.
Yeah, so I did get up earlier today.
I noticed.
So, yeah, yeah.
I
So,
noticed when I got the text.
so that's what I'm working on. And
Yes.
I'm trying to hold off taking afternoon naps.
Okay.
I'll just take a nap at night. No, no, that's one thing I'm thinking. When you start getting drowsy and dozing off, which I do about 9ish,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's when you should start thinking about trying to go to bed. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when I kind of cycle down and start binge watching something.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, that's one of them. And
Mm-hmm.
then I also am going to clean up this joint so my survivors won't swear too much about me when I'm gone.
Well, I'm happy to help if you would like some. You just let me know.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have no resolutions. I'm not a big resolution kind of gal. I did a couple of witchery rituals for the new
Ooh.
year. Both were kind of related to abundance. So
Keep them
why
coming.
not?
Yeah.
I saw. So 2025 is the year of 9 because 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. And so it is a year for abundance. Apparently, the number 9 is apparently related to abundance, I guess. I'm getting this all from the Instagram folks. So I did not fact check this in any way, shape, or form. I saw a video and I went with it.
Well, the number 8 in your wallet hasn't worked.
No, as a matter of fact, I ended up losing it at some point during the year. So no,
Oh,
recently,
wow.
no, recently though, not like halfway through or anything like that. Probably October-ish. I think I couldn't find. I must have pulled it out with a bill and it went away.
But
Yes,
you say as long as the stock market's doing good. So,
which it's not right now.
see, because you lost it. You lost the number 8.
It'll come back. It always end of the year is always the market always goes down. I don't stress over this at all. It's very cyclical. I keep track of my balances in a spreadsheet so I can go back and notice patterns. And like I said, it's pretty much at the end of every year it goes down, and then a couple months into the new year it'll spring back. I don't know if all the way back, but it'll start springing back. So yeah, so it was you took a bay leaf and you put the amount of money you wanted to receive, and then on the back you put 525. I think it was 525, which doesn't make any sense to me, but that's what she told us to write. And then you put that in your wallet along with 9 grains of either lentils. Oh, I forgot the other thing. I did lentils because I have those. And then you set the intention. You basically a little spell, if you will, on it, and you put it in your wallet. You put it in your change purse of your wallet, and then on New Year's Day, you release that out into back to nature. So I did that, and I also went outside of my threshold and blew cinnamon into the house off of my hand on New Year's Day. That's also an abundance thing. So there you have it. But that was it.
Have you tried feng shui?
My house is, I mean, at least my bedroom is more or less set up appropriately for that. Like I don't have anything under my bed. The southeast corner is empty. I forget what the other things are. I've looked into that before. It's hard because my house is so small to do everything.
Yeah.
But I do as much as I can. Have you?
We had a professional come out. I took a feng shui class years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and the woman who taught it, I had come to the house and do a consultation.
Mm-hmm.
We had Larry moved his office from upstairs down to the basement so he would be in the right place, the right corner. And then my office was downstairs, and that came up and is facing the way it's supposed to face.
Cool.
She thought we should make the living room our family room, but
Okay.
I don't like having myself exposed to the front porch. I like the privacy that the family room gives me.
For all you're walking around naked.
No, just for sitting there and lying back in the recliner with my mouth open.
Oh.
But no, I don't like people seeing inside. Although I don't put the blinds down, so I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know what the deal is.
And so what else has been going on with you, Auntie Joan?
Just this past week,
Mm-hmm.
a woman that was my office mate back when I was working
Mm-hmm.
in Boulder passed away. She had
Oh, sorry.
moved to Elko, Nevada
Oh.
about 6 years ago. One of her sons felt she needed him to be close to her to make sure that she got the proper medical care and stuff she needed. So
Mm-hmm.
he moved her out by her, and she had an independent apartment for a while, and then physical medical stuff kind of restricted her, so she went into the assisted living area,
Mm-hmm.
and so she passed away. I don't know the specifics or anything, but I think she was kind of unhappy the whole time she was out there because, well, COVID was going on, and
Mm-hmm.
there was no contact with people, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that was kind of rough. And then, like the next day, I get a text saying that a cousin of mine, her husband had passed away.
Oh
So
gosh.
yeah, and I was in their wedding
Mm-hmm.
like 55 years ago or whenever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just kind of sad to see two people leave. And then, of course, the month before, Larry's first wife passed away. So, yeah, well, it happens in threes. Let's hope that's it for a while, huh?
Were the other two all in 2024, or did one breach the gap to
No,
2025?
no, they were all last year.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
well, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, I'm thinking of buying sympathy cards in bulk now because as we get older, there's going to be more and more of us. Although maybe I won't need them.
No, no. Uh-huh.
So, one thing they did was they did streaming. They streamed the funeral.
Mm.
And I thought that's a pretty good way to go because she had like what brothers or sisters she had left. They were older, they were in their 80s and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And, you can't just get on a plane and zip out to go to a funeral. So that was nice that they had that available to family and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll mention it to my brothers.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, yeah. Might be something we could look into. It's terrible getting old. You got to start thinking about these things.
Better to get old than the alternative.
Is it?
Yes.
Well, for now, yeah, it is. I think what happens to some people is they just say, I've had enough. And I think that was my friend. I
Mm.
think she had just had enough and let it
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I respect that. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Now we're on to the part of our program where we discuss what we are watching. Auntie Joan, what you been watching?
I watched the 6888.
The 6888 Cool Beans.
Yes, created, I don't know, written, produced, directed by Tyler Perry.
Love the Tyler Perry.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm. I don't like the Medina stuff.
Oh, now see, I like the Medina stuff.
No, not a fan.
Oh, I love the Medina stuff.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. So So the 6888 was the Central Postal Directory Battalion that went over to Europe, and I believe it was 1944, so it was towards the end. And what their
Mission.
mission, thank you, was was to clear up a 3-year backlog of mail, which included 17 million pieces of
Mhm.
mail.
Mhm.
And supposedly, some of the pieces included food that, of course, had gotten moldy, and where they were storing it, the rats would go in and take after it. A lot of mislabeled, misaddressed pieces of mail. And a lot of that was because the soldiers moved around.
Mhm.
So they'd get an address, and then whoever at home would send them some mail to their old address, and then they would have trouble tracking them down and finding them. So anyway, there were like 17 million pieces. They were given 6 months to complete this task, and they did it in 90 days.
Mhm.
Now, according to this movie, this was all Black women that were in this battalion. And supposedly, now this is based on the movie,
Mhm.
they were chosen to do it because they wanted them to fail.
Mhm.
And then the leader, the commanding officer over these women, was a woman called Charity Adams,
Mhm.
who was played by Kerry Washington.
Mhm.
Well, now, when Kerry Washington makes her first appearance, playing Charity Adams as a strong commander in chief,
Mhm.
I thought this is not believable. Overdone, overdone.
Mhm.
But as the movie progresses, she got softer, or at least I mean, in my opinion, the way I saw her, I softened to her. She turned out to be a pretty decent woman. A lot of her stuff came from you got to be tough to survive
Mhm.
in that environment. Now, in the movie, the women who arrived, the place where they sent them was supposedly just horrendous. Yeah,
Mhm.
there was old furniture, old stuff around. They had to totally clean it and practically sanitize it, paint it. I don't know. I don't know how they got all that done. Cleaning
Mhm.
up the joint and making it livable and cleaning up the mail in 90 days. But anyway,
Mhm.
it's based on a true story.
Mhm.
The Charity Adams, they ended up naming a base after her, an army base after her. What was Fort Lee in Virginia?
Mhm.
They renamed it to the Fort Gregg Adams in honor of her and Lieutenant General Arthur Gregg. So they've named a base after her,
Mhm.
which is significant.
Indeed.
Yes. It also stars Susan Sarandon, who I thought was a. I just, I couldn't get her as Eleanor Roosevelt.
Agree.
Dean Norris, who was in Breaking Bad, he played General Halt, who
Oh.
was,
Yeah, I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. I never knew his
yeah,
name.
yeah. He was Kerry Washington's arch nemesis. His whole thing was to try to humiliate her and get her out. And
Yes. He
yeah,
was her commanding officer. He was the
yeah,
general.
yeah.
Yes.
And Sam Watterson was Franklin Delano Roosevelt.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, not. And then, oh my God, if it's Tyler Perry, I guess there's got to be Oprah Winfrey, huh?
I think it's a written rule somewhere.
And she played Mary McLeod Bethune, who supposedly was instrumental in getting this group, this battalion of women, over to Europe. One of the problems, the African American women who volunteered,
Mhm.
a lot of times they joined up thinking, I'll get some specialist training, I'll get
Mhm.
so I can apply this to life after the service and maybe get better jobs than I normally would. And supposedly a lot of these African American women who joined up were assigned as house cleaners and
Mhm.
children carers. So this was quite a this was a step up for them, I
Mhm.
guess.
Mhm.
So all in all, Once once I got into the movie, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the actresses. It was nice that they did give credit to the real women at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I think it's worth a watch, if nothing else, to see, that what happened, what people have gone through.
Right.
So, what say you, Auntie?
So I'll start off by saying that I despise period pieces. I hate war movies in
Oh,
any way, shape, or form. However, so
that's
when
good to
you had
know.
selected this, I was like, oh, suck. And now I gotta, because I'd seen it, I knew it was coming out and I saw it on the Netflix page and all that. And I was just like, I don't want to watch this. And although I do love Kerry Washington, have ever since Scandal, but that wasn't enough of a draw. Like I said, it was all the military. Bleh. But being forced to watch it for the
You
podcast,
weren't forced.
well, it's fine. No. It was your pick. That was fine. I'll watch it. It was much better than I never would have
Oh,
watched it. I never, ever would have watched it if you did not select this. And I
oh,
walked away. I did not know the story. I didn't know. I honestly had no idea what it was about because as soon as I saw military, I was like, I'm out. I never paid attention. So I had no idea it was about delivering mail. I had no idea. I had no idea about any of it. And I was just like, oh, this is not at all what I thought. I thought they were going to be in combat. Like, I didn't know what it was, but I just
oh.
can't stand that stuff. No, not my jam. But that's not what the movie was. It was, there is a little war action going on, but not all the time. You know what I mean? Like full on combat all the time. It opens with a little bit of combat. They show an explosion at some point during the movie and that
Right.
kind of stuff, but it wasn't in your face nonstop
Yeah, yeah.
gunfire, people dying, dismembered, bodies strewn, none of that. So it was more of a story to be told. And I think it's an important story to be told because I never knew any of this, not even a clue. So I walked away pleasantly surprised. There were some quirks with the movie as well.
Mhm.
I did not enjoy the way it ended. It felt like it just abruptly ended. They get applause, a salute, and applause at the end from a male battalion of some kind. I don't even know where the hell they
Yeah.
were. Where were they? They never said. Like it just all of a sudden they're just in this building and a guy yells out, "Are you the 6888?" And they say, "Yes, we are." And then they get a salute and it's very emotional and I mean they deserved it, don't get me wrong, but I had no idea what we went from one frame into that. Like the editing was really bad and that is unusual for a Tyler Perry movie in my opinion. So I just sat there staring at it going, don't tell me this is over. Like, is this over now? And yes, it was. And I'm like, but I don't know where are you? What just happened?
After they did the backlog in England,
Yeah.
they went to two other places. I don't know where the next one was that they went, but they ended up in Paris to help, to do
But this is
the.
in the real story. Like, they didn't say any of this in the show, did
Well, I
they?
think they did say, yeah, I think something was mentioned. I think about them going to France. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I don't know. I was lost and I just sat there staring going, where did these guys come from? Like where had no idea where they were when this was occurring. Were they at an airport? Were they at a different base?
Yeah,
Were
yeah.
they, where were they? And it wasn't the full battalion. They're, full
Right,
six
right.
triple A because it was a fraction of
Well,
the number of women that went over there.
because there was a fraction of the stuff that had to be done. See, they had cleaned up all that. And this I got from doing some
See,
background. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think the movie did it justice or didn't do that ending justice. The rest of it was pretty well done. Yeah, I don't think I didn't love the lead younger actress.
Mm.
Or her character. I just thought she was like I could not imagine that type of person volunteering to sign up for the army. She seemed
And
like the complete antithesis
yeah.
of the personality, the character, the whole shebang. She was, yeah, I could not buy. I'm like, yes, I know why she did it because of the person that she lost and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like, how did she progress? How did she pass the first? Because there was,
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like she would have been cut. Come on, give me a break.
well, okay. So it's during the war.
Yeah,
Um, there's a lot of patriotism going on. She lost this love.
right.
So, you're dealing with, well,
But
I
nobody
just,
knew. Remember, at the time she was at basic training,
no, but she knew. I mean, so that's what I think was the motivation is
for
to lose.
sure.
Yeah.
But she was horrible. She couldn't do anything, and they passed her through basic training. I call
Well, that's
bullshit.
Abram peered to her and helped her through.
Yeah. Uh huh. I just didn't buy that. I think she played
What's,
it too wussy.
yeah,
I think she
maybe.
played the
Yeah.
character too wussy.
But,
You
and
know
you know what? She just died a year ago.
who?
That woman, that character, Lena Derricotte King. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
thought you meant the actress. I'm like, she
No, no,
did.
no.
She's very
No.
young. Oh my god.
It's a good thing we clarified that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just don't. And yes, because they showed her at the end reading something, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she seemed like a way more formidable woman than what that person was portraying. So I don't know this actress. I've never seen her in anything before. I don't know if she was told to act. I mean, clearly they didn't ask her to change anything. So they were happy with her performance. I just think the character is played way too wussy for it to be believable that she would have gone beyond basic training.
I
That's
hear
my
you. I
opinion.
hear you. Yeah.
That was my opinion of it. But I love the dance scene. I thought that was fun. I wanted to
Yeah.
get up and
Oh my
dance. I can't do
gosh.
any of that
Yes.
stuff. That was a lot. That was a lot. They're so good. I was like, oh man. Mhm.
One thing Tyler Perry said, I saw an interview with him,
Yeah.
and one thing he said is a lot of these women who were in that battalion, they were the only African American female battalion in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And he said a lot of the women in that battalion would not admit to having been there because the popular belief at the time was that those women were sent over there to satisfy the African American male soldiers.
Oh, prostitutes.
Yes, basically. Yeah.
Mm.
So a lot of the women, there was shame associated with being in that battalion, back then. But,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just what people wanted to believe. They didn't want to believe that Black women could do so well.
Mm.
Well, that's the way it was back then.
Yes, for sure. But I would like to also understand because I don't know anything. I don't. I don't. I told you, period pieces aren't my jam. But were women in general truly accepted in roles within the army in that day and age?
Well, a lot of them that went over, a lot of the women were there
Mm-hmm.
as nurses too. So
Mm-hmm.
angels of mercy or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
But I remember in my late teens,
Mm-hmm.
they used to say that there were only two women who would go into the service,
Right.
whores and lesbians.
Yeah. So I think there
So,
was a stigma for women in general. Certainly African American women
yeah,
had an
yeah,
extra stigma attached to
yeah.
them for sure. But I think it was more broad than that. Broad. That's funny.
Ah, I get it.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. But like I said, way better than I thought the movie was going to be. I really thought I was going to have to struggle to watch this thing. And it sucked me in. Like the opening scene, I was like, oh, shit, here we go.
No.
And it was all men. And I was like, wait a minute. This movie's supposed to be about African American women. What the hell am I watching men on a battlefield? I was pissed at first. I was like, this is going to be worse than I thought it was going to be. And then it all got better. I mean, like I said, I do think it's a poignant story that needed to be told. And I'm happy that I understand that a little bit more now because I never heard of that before in my life. So it goes back to, how wonderful our education has been in the public school systems, learning about just about everything instead of just what is popular to talk about or is white focused. And because I mean, I've learned so much over the past, I don't know, 20 years or so that I never, ever knew. I'm going to because of course I'm not prepared to have this conversation, so I can't come up with it right off the top of my head. But see, I knew this was going to happen. The massacre that happened.
Oh, in was it Oklahoma?
Oklahoma, right? Was it
Yeah.
Oklahoma? Never heard of that before.
Yeah,
Never.
I know. When I heard
Never.
about it, what I was watching, what was it? It was the Watchmen or the something like that
Yeah.
about,
Yes.
yeah,
The Watchmen. That's when I learned about
yes,
it.
yes.
And I was like,
hmm
what? What are you talking? I'm like, this isn't true. This is fake.
No,
Uh,
this is a, yeah,
yeah, made for the
TV
movie
thing.
or
Yeah,
the
yeah,
TV show.
yeah.
And then I was like,
Uh-huh.
oh my God, no, this really fucking happened. I had no
Yeah,
idea.
yeah,
That was never taught to us.
yeah.
I'm glad these stories are getting out. I'm glad that we're learning about these things. I hope they're teaching more of this in the schools these days, but they don't learn anything
No,
these
they're
days.
not.
So,
They want to cut it out. Whatever they've added, they want to take out again. So
I don't know, but it's good. I'm glad there's somebody like Tyler Perry in the industry who's making a point of getting these kinds of stories out. Not just him, but you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like people like him and people like him, and making sure that people know what really happened, because I didn't know. I didn't know any of
I
it.
was doing some background here. I watched a couple reviews on YouTube,
Mhm.
and this one guy, he just ripped it apart. Because he said, "So you made a movie about delivering the mail?
Is that what he got
What?
out of it?
Yeah, yeah." He said, "All these other heroic types out there, and you got people there delivering the mail." And to me, it's like I just remember people putting others down when they donated to animal welfare societies. How can you do that when there's all these children that are needy? And well,
Because animals are
somebody's
better
got
than
to.
children. That's an easy answer.
Well, you don't tell that to somebody with children.
Clearly, they didn't ask me.
Clearly. But yeah, it's so,
It's the trolls. It's the people like
yeah.
I mean, we're now really getting off track a little bit here, but I go on my Facebook feed or whatever the hell it's called, and I look at a lot of vegan recipes that pop up.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, just to get inspired. Maybe I'll actually make that exact recipe, whatever. And the amount of people who chime in on the vegan recipes that are just you need to eat meat. And I'm just like, why are you even on
Yeah,
this?
exactly.
Why are you getting so angry over something
Uh-huh.
that you're not interested in? So why are you even clicking on it? Just keep going.
And what do you care what I eat?
Oh my God. I
You know?
can't tell you. It's ridiculous the number of people who chime in on that.
That blows my mind.
It does. It's crazy. It's like, you got nothing better to do?
Like I'm going to go to some DIY Facebook page and tell the guy, you should have used a coping saw instead of a whatever saw you
I don't even
use.
know what you
got
just
no
said.
clue. Yeah.
Coping style sounds like something that needs to be helped. Like I want to
Yeah.
pet it so it copes
It
better.
helps you cope. Yeah. And don't ask me what a coping saw is, but I heard the name somewhere.
Okay.
So
I trust you.
oh, now I got to do a deep dive.
Deep dive. Deep.
At least I know where
dive.
chainsaws originated.
That's right.
Yeah, as do all our loyal listeners.
That's right. Our listener knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, so those are just trolls in my opinion, because the whole point of making sure the mail got delivered was to ensure that, well, multiple folds, but one of the big ones was to boost morale. These guys had been out on the front lines for 3 years without any contact from loved ones, family, friends,
yeah.
anybody back in the States. And,
And vice versa.
And the converse side of that is the families hadn't heard from their kids.
They didn't know where they were, if they were still alive.
If they were alive, dead, they had no idea.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
weren't getting notified of anything. So this was really a very important mission that these women fulfilled. And I agree. I think because they went from 2 months of not getting anything done, then magically all of a sudden 30 days later all the mail's been delivered, and I'm like, I mean, not that nothing wasn't getting done. I shouldn't say. No piece of mail had successfully been delivered in the first 2 months that they took on the mission, according to the movie. And then magically, 30 days later, it's all been delivered and they finished their assignment. And I'm like, 17 million pieces of mail magically made it to the proper destination in 30 days beyond that? I don't know if I can get my head around that one.
Everywhere I've looked, they said they did it in 90 days, but I don't think they spent the first 2 months just cleaning up the joint. I kind of wonder how they did all that too,
Yeah.
Made it inhabitable and do the mail, but
right. And the fact that the place had no heat, according to the movie.
Yeah.
And they were in
England.
No, Scotland, right? Wasn't it Scotland? I thought it was Scotland.
Edinburgh.
Yeah, that's Scotland.
Oh, cold and damp.
Correct. And I'm just like, okay. I just think maybe they took some embellishments with the movie. I believe the 90 days thing from a true historical perspective, because that's, you're finding those reports consistently as you're looking things up. They took some liberties with the telling of the story because it just, how did they go? Because they were 60 days in when the general came for the inspection and not a single piece of mail had been made successfully to its destination. And then 30 days later, it's all done. I don't. In that day and age, I mean, come on. Imagine what it would have taken to make that happen.
People worked harder back then.
Very true. But there's no technology help. There's no.
Oh, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was all. I just. But
no
anyway.
Zip codes.
Right. It was definitely a story worth telling. It was mostly well done. There were a couple of quirks to the movie that like I said, I could nitpick it, but definitely much better. So if you're like me and don't like period pieces and you don't like war movies in any way, fear not. That's not what that is what this movie's about, sort of, but it's not full-on combat for 2 hours and all that. There's a little bit at the beginning.
And I do like period pieces and World War II. I don't like the war part of it, but I love to see, how people survived and the measures they went through to get through the times.
Mm-hmm. Which really wasn't this movie.
No.
Not really. But I hear what you're saying. Yes.
I think it's on Acorn or BritBox. It's a series called Foyle's War.
That sounds familiar.
That's one show that really got me hooked on that era, the World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Was all based on this town in England and how they all got through the war and stuff and how close they were. Mm-hmm. That was another thing, how close they were to France and the occupation of France.
Mm-hmm. You're talking about Foyle's War or Foyle's whatever. Yeah.
Foyle's War.
Yeah.
I'll put a link out there.
Well, good. Good pick, Auntie Joan. Thank you for boosted me in that direction. Like I said, I never would have watched it if you didn't pick it. And I liked it.
I probably wouldn't have watched it if I hadn't seen the interview with Tyler Perry.
Aha.
To be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
Because it just, I just looked at it. I thought, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one, though. Well done.
All righty. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Now we're on to the part of our program where we discuss commercials we just have to talk about. And man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I don't know if you people have seen this Miebo commercial. It's for stupid eye drops, but they're using the tune to Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Is that what that is?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What the holy hell? It gets stuck in my head. It drives me nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And they say it over and over and over again throughout the commercial. It's super obnoxious.
It's annoying, too.
Yes. And apparently these eye drops are for dry eyes. And it just reminds me of Ellen DeGeneres' joke about Jen Aniston. She's like, my good friend Jen Aniston, I never knew she had dry eye until I saw the commercial. she was plugging...
wasn't it our Auntie Mary who went to the eye doctor saying that she had her eye kept watering or something? And the doctor said, "Oh, you've got dry eye." She said, "No, no, because my eyes are tearing. My eye is tearing." Well, that's because you have dry eye.
Huh.
And of course, the doctor was right, but it doesn't make sense, does
It
it?
doesn't. It doesn't. I guess
Maybe
that's
this,
your eye overcompensating or the tear ducts compensating for the dryness.
oh, I
I
don't
guess.
know.
I don't know. Or
Maybe
trying to
somebody,
compensate, I guess.
it might be worth, maybe I should do some investigation.
A little Google machine action.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Well, when I have allergies, I never had allergies until probably my 40s. I think is when I started getting allergies. It's always my left eye, and it just tears like uncontrollably, and I keep like wiping it away, and then I get a red mark next to my eye, and it really hurts and tender
Mm-hmm.
because I'm constantly wiping away tears. But it's only my left eye. Doesn't Nothing happens with my right eye. Never has. Always my left. And then I would get this, this part has nothing to do with eyes, but I would just get that scratchiness in the back of my throat,
Mm.
like like I swallowed a hair and I can't get it out. It
Ugh.
drives me nuts. But I take my Flonase and then I'm a-okay. But I take it sparingly. I only take it when I have the symptoms. But
Mm.
yeah, like so I assumed I didn't know what was that. What was that? What was causing that? So maybe it's a dry eye situation that I'm encountering that I didn't. I mean, again, it is allergies because there's always comes
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
pair of the throat situation. But I never knew that if you had dry eye, it mean your eyes water more. That's interesting.
yeah. It is. I just looked it up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and one of the symptoms is watery eyes.
That's interesting.
Now, dryness, irritation, redness, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Discharge, blurred vision, tired eyes, burning or stinging, sensitivity to light, watery eyes.
Hmm.
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 Very interesting.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I tell you what. Oh yeah.
You do that good.
Ferris Bueller was very big when I was younger. So
I see. I did not make that connection. That came after
yes.
me.
Yes. Chicka chicka. All right, Auntie Joan. Anything else you have for our listener today?
Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome back.
Yes, happy 2025. I wish you all a wonderful new year. This is Auntie signing off.
And Auntie Joan saying bye bye now.
We thank you for listening. And remember, when life eats away at your core, make pickled watermelon rinds.